Alright, let me lay down a couple of hard truths before we dive headfirst into this nightmare. Truth 1. Old Murkfin lives in the Sinkhole, out on Willow Creek Bend. Not a sinkhole, the Sinkhole. Every kid who grew up south of the highway knows this like they know their own perpetually embarrassing childhood nickname. And I see that look. You hear sinkhole. You picture some muddy depression at the side of the road, maybe big enough to swallow a tire, right? Something you splash through after a downpour. Yeah, no. Murkfin Sinkhole ain't playing those games. This thing is vast. It swallows a whole damn stretch of the bend, a sprawling, stagnant mess fringed with slimy, moss-eaten fences that look like rotten teeth. And here's the kicker. It's always there. Always. Hottest day of August? Dreest week on record? Doesn't matter. The sinkhole remains. Never shrinks, never cracks, never even pretends to evaporate. And when it rains, oh boy. When it rains, it bloats. Swells up like a drowned corpse, becoming less a puddle and more a small, extremely questionable lake. It's raining now, actually. Fat, greasy drops smacking the surface. Lovely. Truth 2, and this one's less quirky local geography and more existential dread. Old Murkfin steals kids. Why? What for? Your guess is as good as mine. But he grabs them. Walking home from school, maybe sneaking out after dark. They go near the sinkhole and poof, gone. Never seen again. Which is why we have the buddy system from hell. Even the weird kids, the ones who eat paste or talk to squirrels, we all travel in packs. We take ridiculous detours, zigzagging through neighborhoods like paranoid spies, just to make sure everyone gets walked right to their freaking doorstep. Because of Murkfin, there aren't really any true loners left in this town. Silver lining, I guess? Still, kinda sucks that it took a child-snatching bog monster to foster community spirit. My grip tightens on the aluminum baseball bat. Yeah, it's basically a glorified stick, but swiping a butcher knife from the kitchen block, that involved facing Mom. And frankly, standing here at the edge of a monster's lair feels marginally less terrifying than explaining that particular brand of larceny. Different flavors of courage, you know? Sam fidgets to my left, picking obsessively at a frayed patch on his jeans. Rain darkens the brim of his ancient Mets cap. He's got a big, heavy wrench clutched in his fist, liberated from his dad's disaster zone of a garage, probably. Doubt the old man will even notice. Maya stands on my right, her dark hair plastered to her skull under a bright yellow rain slicker that makes her look like a particularly grim fisherman. She's holding a crowbar like some kind of post-apocalyptic scepter. Her eyes, usually sharp and assessing, are wide with anxiety. She looks at me, then back at the water. Feels wrong, just the three of us. Our fourth, Leo, old Murkfin got him, snatched him like all the others, pulled him down into whatever slimy hell exists beneath the sinkhole on Willow Creek Bend. I drag in a deep breath of cold, damp, late afternoon air that smells like wet dirt and dread. I turn to the older kids behind us. Their names don't matter. Couple grades up, your standard issue high school bullies, the kind who get their kicks making other people miserable. But not today. Today, they're just quiet, standing like grim, uncomfortable statues in the rain. The main one, a lanky kid named Kevin, steps forward. Saw your buddy, he mutters, not quite meeting my eyes. Leo, he cut off by himself. Coulda yelled, walked with him, didn't. He kicks at a loose stone. My bad. Sorry, Alex. To all of you. I nod. Nothing to say. We all know the story. The rain drums down. We'll watch the entrance, Kevin continues, his voice low. Till sunset anyway. Can't stay after dark, you know how it is. Another nod. Silence. Keep you safe, he adds awkwardly. Nothing follows you down, nothing nasty comes back up. We got this. He pauses, glancing towards the water. Hope you find him, man. The wind sighs through the dripping trees that crowd the bend, making everything misty and indistinct at the edges. Gives the place a real Welcome to the upside down vibe. Charming. Right then, Sam mumbles beside me, giving his jeans one last nervous pick. He hefts the wrench. Guess this is happening. He's terrified. We all are. Nobody goes into the sinkhole. Nobody goes after Murkfin. It's certifiably insane. And yet, enough's enough, right? If we don't do this, who will? They took Leo, our friend. He needs saving. Simple. Fucked up, but simple. His name is Leo. Sam takes a step, another. Then, with a squelching splash, his sneaker sinks into the murky water at the sinkhole's edge. Maya moves beside him, almost in formation. Goosebumps prickle my arms despite the clammy air. Holy crap, we're actually doing this. We're going fishing for a monster. Sam hesitates, visibly steeling himself. Then, trying way too hard to look casual, he keeps walking. Maybe 7, 8 feet out into the water. We watch, holding our breath, as he starts descending. Like he's walking down invisible stairs. He sinks to his knees, then his waist. He keeps going down. It's exactly as bizarre as the legends described. Then, as the water reaches his chest, he breaks. Totally understandable, really. Panic flashes across his face, shattering the concentration. He flails, slips, and goes down with a huge splash, vanishing for a second in a spray of brown water. Then he's sputtering, lying face down in a puddle, a ridiculously shallow puddle. The water barely covers his back. He pushes himself up, cursing under his breath, water streaming from his face and plastering his hair down. He adjusts his cap, dripping. The water that seemed chest-deep moments ago now barely laps at his ankles. He starts stomping back towards us, radiating frustrated embarrassment. Sorry, he grumbles, wiping water from his eyes. Harder than it looks. It's cool, I say, trying to sound reassuring. Lost focus, that's all. Gotta forget the water's there. Just keep going down. Easier said than done, my brain helpfully supplies, while my heart hammers against my ribs like it's trying to escape. Sam reaches the bank, looking expectantly at me. Maya does too. The unspoken message hangs heavy in the damp air. Your turn, genius. I swallow hard, forcing down the urge to suggest we all just go home and watch cartoons. All right, I mutter. Here goes nothing. I stride forward, maybe a little too fast, trying to outrun my own cowardice, and step into the sinkhole. Any second now. Any second. There. My foot lands lower than it should, sinking into the gray, shimmering water reflecting the miserable sky. Don't react. Keep moving. Fists clenched, breath steady, huh? Down I go. Step. Water to my knees. Step. Water to my waist. Step. Water to my chest. This is where Sam bailed, but I keep going. Step. Water sloshes around my neck. Cold. So damn cold. The rain patters loudly on the surface beside my ears. One more deep breath. Close my eyes. And my head goes under. Keep walking down. The sound of the rain muffles instantly, fading above me. The water feels weirdly thin. Not quite water. Down, down, step by slow, deliberate step. Experimentally, I try exhaling. No rush of bubbles. Weird. Tentatively, I try breathing in. And I can. Holy shit, I can breathe. Eyes snap open. I'm at the bottom of stairs. Wide, imposing stone stairs leading down into a corridor. A freaking mansion corridor. Long, straight, ridiculously grand. The walls are a deep blood red paneling, the carpet a thick, mossy green. I lift a hand. watching it move. Everything wavers slightly, like looking through old glass, and my movements feel slightly syrupy, but it's definitely more like moving through thick, heavy air than water. Makes zero sense. Standard. I turn slowly, my vision wobbling before settling. Behind me, the stairs ascend towards that shimmering, watery veil where the surface should be. Whoosh. A pair of muddy sneakers appears through the veil, followed by yellow rain-slicker legs. Maya. Her eyes are squeezed shut, cheeks puffed out, holding her breath. As she nears the bottom, she risks opening one eye, then the other. Sees me standing there, breathing apparently normally. Takes a cautious inhale herself. Relief floods her face. "This is messed up, Alex," she murmurs, her voice sounding a little distorted, echoey. She walks over to the nearest wall, peering at one of the paintings hanging there. "You see these?" I'd noticed them but hadn't focused. They hang at regular intervals all the way down the corridor, disappearing into the distance. I step closer. The painting Maya is looking at, all of them, actually, are portraits of kids. This one's a girl, maybe 12. Definitely not from this century, judging by the creepy lace collar and the hairstyle that screams haunted doll. Sam clamps down the stairs, tugging his cap down tighter, like he's afraid it'll float off. "What the hell is this place?" he whispers, echoing my thoughts. Definitely not what the whispered stories prepared us for. "Come on," I say, trying to project confidence I absolutely do not feel. "Let's move. Clock's ticking." We start walking down the long, level corridor. Ornate, drippy chandeliers hang from the high ceiling, casting multiple, softly rippling shadows on the mossy carpet. I can't help but glance at the portraits as we pass. My stomach churns. The further we go, the more recent the clothes and hairstyles become. Kids as young as 5, some teenagers like the first girl. None of them are smiling. They stare out with hollow eyes. Expressions of weary sadness, of being utterly lost. They're disturbingly realistic, haunting. It starts subtly. Takes us maybe 15 minutes to really notice, but the carpet, it's getting thicker, wilder, sprouting up in uneven patches like actual moss, like weeds reaching through cracks in a sidewalk, like seaweed swaying in a slow current. As we walk, the weed carpet gets higher. By the time the corridor finally ends, maybe 40 minutes after the stairs, the stuff is brushing against our knees. It opens into a large hall. Stone pillars draped in dripping green ferns mark the corners. In the center stands a chipped white stone pedestal, the moss carpet swirling almost to its top. "Something's coming," Maya whispers, and the tiny hairs on my arms stand straight up. Instinctively, we cluster together, 3 terrified idiots with makeshift weapons, standing in the soggy ballroom at the bottom of a magic sinkhole. Great career choice. Movement flickers at the edge of my vision. Real, or just the weird, watery light playing tricks? The weed carpet sways, though there's no breeze. My heart does a nervous tap dance against my ribs. Sam tightens his grip on the wrench, the slight scraping sound loud in the silence. Maya starts humming nervously, some cheesy old TV theme song. It's her weird coping mechanism. Bad guys in movies never attack when someone's singing something upbeat, apparently. Tonight's choice, Perfect Strangers. Seriously. We stand there, listening to the jaunty tune echo weirdly in the underwater mansion, waiting for old Murkfin himself to pop out and eat us. Finally, Sam snaps. "Maya, cut it out." Not helping. She stops instantly. I can practically feel the wave of guilty regret wash off Sam. "Sorry," he mutters immediately. "Just nerves." "It's okay," she says quietly. Another long, tense pause. Then, because the silence is somehow worse, I pick up the tune where she left off, whistling it softly. She joins back in, a little shaky. Then Sam, humming reluctantly, and whistling like 3 doomed idiots. We start moving deeper into the hall, towards the central pedestal. The turtle appears when we're about 10 feet away. Deep, muddy, green-brown, it blends perfectly with the carpet until it moves. It emerges from the weeds around the pedestal's base, uncoiling, not like a snake, but like unfolding. It's huge, easily 6 feet across the shell. It levers itself onto the pedestal with ancient slowness, then fixes us with two unblinking, reptilian eyes, the color of old gold. Its wrinkled neck extends, head weaving slightly. It opens its leathery beak. I'm not even surprised when it speaks, voice a low, gravelly rumble like stones grinding together underwater. You have erred, surface spawn, the shellback rumbles. Coming here was unwise. Its head dips slightly. Others have crept below, seeking lost ones. Did they succeed? I ask, my voice surprisingly steady. Did they find their friends? Get them away from old Murkfin? Because this thing, ancient and intimidating as it is, isn't him. I feel it. Call it intuition. Call it plot convenience. Murkfin endures, the turtle replies evasively, its gaze heavy. Not what I asked. I press. The shellback slowly retracts its head partway into its shell, then extends it again, a little closer this time. A clear warning. I hold my ground, but we both notice Sam shifting his grip on the wrench. I would not, the turtle advises Sam, its voice flat. I may appear slow. I'm not. You would be disassembled before your tool completed its arc. Have you seen our friend? Maya cuts in, her softer tone breaking the tension slightly. Leo? The turtle pauses, swiveling its ancient head towards her. It seems to consider this. Leo, is that the name? Yes. The turtle lets out a sound like air escaping a punctured tire. A sigh? I fear you are too late. Murkfin does not dally. Your friend is spent, drained. Turn back, children, lest you share his fate. Turn back now. My heart hammers, panic rising like bile. But I take a step forward, pointing at the creature. No, that's crap. Leo's tougher than all of us put together. He's the best of us. He wouldn't just let himself get drained. Alas, witnessed it myself. The turtle insists, its golden eyes unreadable. He is gone. Turn back. Murkfin roams these halls. Wait. My panic recedes slightly. He fell for it. I lower my hand, managing a quick, humorless smirk. Think you're lying, Grandpa. You don't seem too clear on human genders. Leo isn't a she. Leo's a he. Your unblinking eyes didn't see squat, did they? The shellback retracts its head fully this time, a low hiss vibrating from within the shell. So, I continue pushing my luck. We're gonna keep going. You try and stop us, we fight. Don't want that. You don't want that. Let's just agree to disagree and walk away. The head slowly reemerges. Foolish children, only despair awaits you further in. I urge you, turn back. Save yourselves the suffering. Not turning back, Sam says, his voice tight. We won't, Maya adds. Then you are doomed, the shellback rumbles. And with agonizing slowness, it begins to lever itself off the pedestal, sinking back into the weed carpet. It slides away, vanishing into the green depths surprisingly quickly. 3 more corridors branch off this hall. Straight ahead seems as good a choice as any. We push forward, wading through the knee-high muckgrass, deeper into old Murkfin's charming underwater timeshare. Leaving the hall, we ignore the low rumbling sounds that seem to echo from behind the slimy walls. Drained, Maya murmurs after a while. That's what it said. What does that even mean? Turtle was lying, Sam insists. If it had really seen Leo, it wouldn't have messed up the he-she thing. No, I know, Maya says. But drained. Like, what? Sam shakes his head. No clue. Probably best not to dwell on it, I suggest quietly. trying not to look too closely at the sad eyes following us from the portraits lining this new corridor. Lauren mutters reluctant agreement. The corridor seems endless. The unspoken deadline, sunset back in the real world, presses down on me. Murkfin's sinkhole is only supposed to be enterable near dusk. When night falls proper, that's when the things living down here are set to return. The clock is ticking. As if on cue, a distant, watery voice echoes faintly from above, distorted, seeming to filter down through the ceiling veil. One of the guards. Kevin? Alex, the faraway voice calls. We freeze, straining to hear. Things are coming back, crawling towards the water. We're holding them off, but there's a lot. Hurry it up, man. Great. Just peachy. We pick up the pace, hearts pounding in rhythm with the distant warning. The corridor takes a sharp turn and opens abruptly into a dining room. Bandstand in the corner, draped in cobwebs, or the underwater equivalent. Tables scattered around, covered in cloths that look disturbingly like giant, slimy lily pads. More portraits on the walls, but only halfway down. The far walls, visible through open doorways, are bare. Sam nudges my arm, points with the wrench. We follow his gaze. Corner of the room. Short, squat figure back to us, humming tunelessly, hunched over an easel, dabbing at a sheet of thick, expensive-looking paper with a brush. A painter. Nerves screaming, we creep forward, our movements muffled by the thick, heavy air. Closer, closer. It becomes obvious this isn't a person. What looked like a gray tweed jacket is just the shading on slick, slimy skin. Greenish-brown, webbed feet, bowed legs. Proportionally, it's a giant frog, maybe 4 feet tall. I nod to Sam. He lunges, grabbing the frog thing roughly by its shoulder. It lets out a terrified, gurgling squeak as Sam shoves it hard to the damp floor. Paintbrushes clatter. Sam presses the business end of the heavy wrench against its pulsing throat. Maya levels her crowbar, I point my bat. Its bulging, golden eyes dart frantically between us. It croaks, struggling feebly. What are you doing? It blurts, voice wet and sticky. You aren't victims. Unhand me, surface filth. Where's our friend? Sam growls. And don't screw with us. We already took care of your buddy, the turtle. He leaves the details vague. Good move. The frog's eyes widen further in fear. Who? It stammers. Who friend? Leo, Maya says, her voice softer now. Leo, he's the boy in your painting. My blood runs cold. I turn to the easel. The painting is only half done. Lots of shadows, missing details. But the face, yeah, that's Leo. No doubt. The frog's eyes flicker from Maya to the portrait and back. Terror washes over its amphibious features. Others come soon. It whimpers. Take you to Murkfin. If he hasn't found you already. A low rumble shakes the walls. Where is he? I repeat, pressing the back closer. The boy in the painting. We're not leaving without him. The frog's throat pulses, throbbing violently. Too late. Painting finished. Boy drained. Doesn't look finished to me, I reply coolly. Not a question. The frog struggles again, but Maya leans hard on the crowbar, pinning its slippery arm. Sam adjusts his grip on the wrench. I lean in closer, trying to channel my inner movie badass. We'll kill you if we have to, Murkfin's little pet. I probably wouldn't. Honestly, the thought makes me want to puke. But maybe scaring him works. The frog whimpers pitifully. If he doesn't, get victims. It whispers, eyes darting nervously. He comes. For us, the Meyer folk. We do what we must. Child. Which way? I demand. Its bulging eyes flick desperately towards one of the side corridors. I nod curtly. He'll drain you too, the frog squeaks. Risk we'll take. This next part feels shitty, but we can't trust these things. They deal in riddles and half-truths. By the time the painting is finished, the boy will be drained. What does that even mean? Maya, I say grimly, pin his arms. She shifts her weight, using the crowbar to trap both the frog's flailing arms above its head against the mossy floor. Wait! No! Let go! It shrieks, panicking. Sorry, I say, not feeling sorry at all. Your painting, is it connected to what happens to the kids? The frog glares, silent. Is the painting important? I press, clenching my jaw. Anything else we need to know? Silence. Defiance in its bulging eyes. What if we broke your hands? Sam pipes up, his voice chillingly casual. Huh? What if you couldn't finish the portrait? No! The frog shrieks, and its tongue, thick, pink, and incredibly fast, shoots out like a whip, slapping wetly across Sam's eye. He cries out, stumbling back, wrench falling from the frog's throat. The frog kicks out with powerful legs, sending Maya staggering. With another flick of its tongue, it's free. I dive for it, but it's like trying to grab a greased watermelon. It shoves me aside easily and bounds away down the hall, letting out a series of loud, warning croaks and warbles. No way we can catch it. Each hop covers 10 feet or more. The painting, grab it! I yell, my heart pounding. Got it. Maya snatches the rolled up paper from the easel, stuffing it hastily inside her slicker. As she does, she knocks over another finished-looking portrait lying on the floor nearby. I only catch a glimpse. Maybe the girl from the first painting, before it lands face down. Move, Sam shouts, rubbing his eye. If they didn't know we were here before, they sure as hell do now. Come on. We sprint down the corridor the frog indicated, plunging deeper into the watery maze. Past rooms filled with weird glowing fungi, past alcoves lined with statues of grotesque fish things. The air, or whatever we're breathing, seems to get thicker, heavier. Running feels like wading through invisible syrup. Our sprint slows to a strenuous jog. God, I pant. Shouldn't be this hard. We stagger into another wide hall. No tables here, just a single, large statue in the center. A grimacing heron, line-folded, holding a set of tilting scales in its claws. Guys, they're breaking through, the distorted voice from above again, frantic now. Too many, can't stop them all. Hurry, they're coming. I stare at the statue. The scales are tipped, each pan pointing down a different corridor branching off the hall. We're close. I can feel it. A choice. I let out a ragged sigh, shifting my stance. As I do, a stream of tiny bubbles escapes my lips, drifting upwards towards the shimmering ceiling veil. Pause. Sam and Maya are staring at me, eyes wide with horror. Sam drops his wrench with a muffled clang. It falls in slow motion. Bubbles suddenly start pouring from his own mouth as he gasps. No air, he chokes out, the sound terrifyingly thin. For a horrible second, it looks like his belief, the fragile illusion keeping us alive down here, has shattered. How are we breathing? I can't. He collapses to his knees, clawing at his throat, face already turning purple. It's just water, water. Maya and I drop beside him instantly. Sam, look at me. You can talk. You can breathe. We are breathing. I grab his shoulders. It's thick. It's wet, but it's air. Come on. Breathe. In. Out. He panics, spluttering, choking. Breathe, Sam. Match us. He struggles, tries to sync his gasping breaths with ours. It looks agonizing. But slowly, gradually, he forces himself calm. The stream of bubbles slows, then stops. He takes a shuddering, controlled breath, then another. The color starts returning to his face. He stays kneeling for a full minute, head bowed. Finally, he wipes sweat, or water, from his forehead. Cost us time. Sorry. Hey, it's okay, I say, but he's right. As we get back to our feet, the heron statue before us starts to vibrate. A low, guttural voice rumbles through the very walls, through the water, through our bones. Not Kevin, not the turtle. Not the frog. This voice is deeper, darker, angrier. It sends a wave of primal, dreamlike fear washing through me. It's him. Has to be. Old Murkfin. Intruders. The voice booms, seeming to come from everywhere at once. Intruders in my domain. I smell your surface blood. Children, come face me. If you dare, come meet your end. Almost without thinking, I turn towards the right-hand corridor. That's where he is. Down there. Waiting. But from the left-hand corridor, movement. A flicker. A person? A child. There's another kid down here. A small girl, maybe half our age, peeks nervously around the corner, one hand pressed flat against the slimy wall. She looks terrified, uncertain. "Hey," I call out softly. "Are you okay?" She flinches violently, stumbles backward, turns to flee. For a second, I see her clearly. Tangled hair, ragged clothes. Then she vanishes around the corner. "Come back!" Maya shouts, taking a step after her, then stopping, looking back at me. Sam looks too. Torn. Right corridor. Monster. Left corridor. Lost kid. Statue between them. Time ticking. Tick. Tock. Rumbles Murkfin's voice from the depths. "Come now, or never meet me at all." "Alex?" Maya asks desperately. "What do we do?" Words fail me. Go after Murkfin? Abandon the girl? But maybe she survived this long. She could survive longer. But how long has she been down here? Maybe they're hunting her right now. She's so small. What chance does she have? Maybe it's a trap? The decision gets made for me. Sam breaks the deadlock. Muttering something under his breath, he scoops up his wrench, glances back at us once, his face set, and then sprints down the left corridor after the girl. "Go find Leo," he yells over his shoulder. "Don't wait for me. Just save him. Get out. Go." He disappears around the corner. No time to second guess. I grab Maya's arm. "Come on!" We plunge into the right-hand corridor, running towards the monster, leaving Sam to whatever fate awaits him. The weed carpet here is almost waist-high, thick, gray-green fronds brushing wetly against us as we push through. Occasional bursts of bubbles erupt from our churning passage. The air is thicker still, heavy, cloying. The grand walls are slick with slime, and the smell, gods, the smell. Rotting vegetation, stagnant water, and something else. Metallic, coppery, blood. It grows stronger with every step. It's the reek of Murkfin. We're close. Every corner I brace myself. This is it. But the corridor just keeps twisting, stretching on. Maddeningly. "They're coming." The guard's voice again, fainter now, panicked. "The Meyer folk. They're at the sinkhole. Hurry." "Think he'll be okay?" Maya pants beside me, breathless. "Sam?" "Dunno," I gasp back. Focus on Leo, one nightmare at a time. Ahead, the light changes. The subtle blue-green tint we've moved through since the stairs abruptly ends. The corridor ahead glows with a viscous, pulsating red light. Shadows writhe like living things. Breathing in, I taste metal, sharp and bitter. Bile rises in my throat. Maya catches my eye. "We don't need to say it, Murkfin." We slow, hearts hammering like trapped birds. Creep to the final corner, ducking behind a slimy statue of a coiled eel, peer around it, and freeze. Bile surges again. My stomach clenches in pure revulsion. The corridor opens into the largest room yet, a vast, throne room-like hall. A single, impossibly long table dominates the center, stretching nearly wall to wall. The weed carpet is trampled down here, clearly a high-traffic area. Stained glass windows line the walls, the first windows we've seen. But beyond the grotesque, colorful scenes depicted, there's only swirling, watery red mist. Each window is flanked, by leering statues of Murkfin. And the table, oh God, the table, it's covered, piled high, carelessly, obscenely, with bodies, his victims. I feel a sharp pain, realize Maya is crushing my hand in hers, her knuckles white. Drained, just like the turtle and frog said. No other word fits. They're all children, all long dead. Eyes stare blindly from sunken sockets. Skin like bleached parchment pulled taut over delicate bones. White, gray, veinless, sprawled, tangled, dumped like refuse across the table from end to end. My teeth grind together. I force my gaze upward, past the horrific centerpiece. The frog artist, Flickerwick, is here too. Standing nervously near the far end of the table, his silhouette stark against the pulsating red light from a massive ruby-like chandelier overhead. His head is craned back, webbed hands gesturing pleadingly. He's talking to the creature slumped on an enormous throne of cold, mossy, red-veined stone. It's him, old Murkfin. He's a leech. A colossal, bloated, segmented, glistening black leech. Monstrous. Ripples of obscene movement shudder along his body as he shifts. Slime drips constantly from his pulsating form. Faint scarlet markings trace patterns down his segmented body. His midsection is grotesquely swollen, heaving slightly. The only feature distinguishing head from tail is a puckered throbbing ring of flesh at the top. A mouth, coated in thick, black ooze, currently hovering menacingly above the pleading frog. Makes no sense, Flickerwick. Murkfin warbles, the sound seeming to ooze directly from his skin rather than his mouth, ring. Assured me, the air, too thick for surface spawn. Exertion should have finished them. Oh, great drainer, the frog croaks, wringing his webbed hands. Must have tricks, sneaky, arrogant, stupid. Murkfin's voice drops, becoming a wet, guttural rasp. The pulsing mouth ring lowers towards the terrified frog. Excuses, bore me. Tell me, the portraits. Finished? Ready for my gallery? Flickerwick squirms. I finished the first, Lord Murkfin. The girls. Murkfin rumbles, a sound like sludge shifting underground. He draws back slightly, ooze dripping onto the stone throne. That will suffice. For now. Maya and I exchange a horrified glance. The girl? The little one Sam went after? Our silent question is answered immediately. Murkfin slithers, rotating his upper body with surprising speed, his lower half thrumming with vile excitement. He gestures, or maybe just points his mouth ring, upwards. We follow his gaze, and gasp. Maya clamps a hand over her mouth. How did we not see them? Hanging from thick, rusty chains near the high ceiling, painted in swirling patterns that almost blend in, are two cages. Inside each cage, a child. A teenage girl, maybe 14, looking terrified. And Leo. Bring them, Murkfin orders. Open the first. Flickerwick darts to the side of the room, grabs a large, greasy lever, and hauls it down. With a clank and screech of protesting metal, unseen gears engage. The cages jerk awkwardly along some kind of rail system, moving closer to the center of the room directly above the table of horrors. Alex, Maya hisses, her voice trembling. What do we do? I have no damn idea. The cage holding the teenage girl begins to lower, swinging slightly. About 6 feet above the table, the bottom of the cage slams open. The girl screams, a sound muffled and distorted by the thick air, falling onto the pile of drained corpses. With speed that belies his bloated mass, Murkfin surges forward. His black mouth ring peels back sickeningly, revealing 3 pulsing pinkish-gray beak-like jaws beneath. Please, the girl cries, bubbles streaming from her mouth as she throws up her hands in a useless gesture of defense. She doesn't stand a chance. Murkfin strikes. His fangs, each easily the size of my fist, clamp down deliriously on her side. A spurt of dark blood blossoms in the red light. She screams again, silenced almost immediately. The creature's mouth ring rolls back over the fangs, sealing onto her side like a giant, obscene sucker. And in maybe 10 seconds, he drains her. His segmented body pulses rhythmically, great gulps visibly traveling down his form. His insides rumble and groan with obscene satisfaction. The girl just withers, like a flower, starved of water, collapsing into herself, skin turning that same ghastly white-gray as the others on the table. Flickerwick watches from the sidelines, frozen in quiet terror. Does he see his own potential fate? Probably. Murkfin gorges for another full minute, sucking greedily, ensuring not a single drop is wasted. My mind races, desperately trying to piece together a plan from the fragments of information, the horror show playing out before me. The frog, despite clearly being terrified, finds the courage to clear his throat. My lord, the children, the surface dwellers, they'll be here soon. Murkfin grunts, detaching with a wet sucking sound. Droplets of blood shower the corpses below. He raises his head, quivering, mouth ring pulsing with pleasure. The girl's empty husk tumbles off the table onto the floor. He makes a sound that might be laughter, a wet, gurgling chuckle that shakes his disgusting segments. Oh, Flickerwick, he warbles. Worry not, smelled the surface filth the moment they arrived. He swivels, his dark, wet mouth, ring pointing directly at our hiding place. My blood turns to ice water. They are already here. Murkfin surges forward again, impossibly fast. Adrenaline dumps into my system. Maya and I scramble sideways, bursting out from behind the statue just as Murkfin slams into it. The stone eel wobbles but holds. Surface dwellers, Murkfin booms, slithering around the obstruction. Victims, to be, how, consider it, delivering yourselves. Maya, I hiss, shoving her towards the wall. The lever, get Leo down. Yes. Murkfin laughs his wet, awful laugh, taunting us as he slides over the table, scattering more bodies, blocking Maya's path. Lever? What can you hope to achieve? You are outmatched. Outclassed. You have wandered to your doom. I freeze, a wave of despair washing over me. Maybe he's right. Look at us. Baseball bat, crowbar. Against that? His hide looks like thick rubber. We need something sharp, something piercing. And the only one with anything remotely like that is Sam, currently off playing hero somewhere else. I look at Maya. She looks back, reads the desperate resolve in my eyes. The insane plan still holds. She gives a tiny, almost imperceptible nod. I sidestep away from her, my throat tight, the air thick and tasting of rust. I force out the words, trying to sound defiant, not terrified. You disgust me, Murkfin. Why do you hide down here? Only ever take one kid at a time. Ashamed? That it? Ashamed surface folk might see you for what you are? Just a common leech, bloated and hiding. I see Flickerwick tense against the far wall, horrified. Murkfin bubbles and froths, turning his full attention to me. Perfect. Maya edges slowly, deliberately, around him, past the table, towards the lever on the wall. Flickerwick sees her but stays frozen, too scared to break the standoff to draw Murkfin's rage. How dare you? Murkfin bellows, his body seeming to swell, his head dropping almost level with mine. His sucker mouth pulses angrily, leaking ooze onto the floor near my feet. His breath, or whatever passes for it, reeks of iron decay. See how I drained my last meal? Could do the same to you. Now, I hold my ground, though sweat trickles coldly down my back. He pauses, a weird shift in tone, but, must admit, to come this far, stand against such power, such boldness. His voice becomes almost conversational, grotesquely so. Respect that. I will give you one chance. Turn. Return to the surface. Now. Never come back. Alarm bells scream in my head. This sudden compassion from the thing that steals children, drains them dry, uses them as table decorations. Bullshit. I've seen his speed, his power. He could drain me in seconds, but he hasn't. Why? I glance up. Leo's cage hangs above. He's watching, silent, eyes wide, hands gripping the bars. Murkfin hasn't drained him either. My eyes flick around the room. The statues of Murkfin, the massive throne, Flickerwick cowering, the hundreds of portraits lining the halls of this underwater hellhole. It clicks. His pride, that's why. His stupid, monstrous pride, it's his weakness. Maya reaches Flickerwick. The frog finally snaps, croaking desperately. My lord, ducking as Maya swings the crowbar warningly near his head. Do it, Maya! I yell, keeping my eyes locked on Murkfin. If he has actual eyes, I can't see them. Murkfin ignores the commotion, focused on me. Address me, directly, he growls. As Maya yanks the lever and spins the rusty wheel, I speak loud and clear. Leo's cage rattles down its chain, the bottom springs open, and he drops onto the pile of bodies below with a grunt. Murkfin, I shout. You liar, you compassionless thing. You want to drain us, but you can't. Not yet, because we haven't been painted, immortalized, added to your creepy little trophy gallery. God forbid you lose track of your conquests. Murkfin seethes, rearing back, his whole body quivering with rage. But I press on, fists clenched, legs shaking. What happens if you drain us now, huh? Can your little frog artist paint us accurately from memory? Having seen us for, 5 minutes? He'd screw it up. They'd be wrong. Embarrassing mistakes hanging in your halls forever. Permanent reminders of the kids who dared face you. I nod towards Leo, who's scrambling off the bodies, wide-eyed, joining me. We destroyed Leo's portrait, by the way. I lie, thinking of the rolled-up paper in Maya's slicker. Does Flickerwick have the talent to start over? From memory? I shoot an icy glare at the frog, who shrinks back like he's been physically struck. Maya is already moving stealthily around the edge of the room towards us. The walls rumble again. So, I say, trying to keep the tremor out of my voice. Think we're done here, Murkfin. We'll be leaving now. Murkfin throbs, silent for a terrifying moment. Then he lets out a deafening wet scream. Hot, blood-stinking air blasts across our faces. I should drain you now for your insolence. How dare you? How dare you? He splutters, writhing, slamming his tail end across the table, sending more bodies cascading to the floor. Respect's a two-way street, sluggo, I retort, amazed the words come out. Murkfin writhes in fury, but he doesn't strike. My theory holds. Thank God. I grab Maya's hand, haul Leo to his feet. Together, the three of us start backing slowly towards the corridor. Fine, Murkfin hisses. Consider yourselves escaped. Enjoy your hollow victory. You may be spared my power. Surface children. But the Mire folk await. They will have you, tear you apart, feast on your bones. Go to them. Reap your pathetic reward. He swivels, pulsating, slithering back towards his throne. His tail whips out, slamming into the wall, leaving a deep dent and a dark, wet stain. The ground trembles. The Mire folk are coming. Guys, Leo starts, his voice thick with shock and gratitude. No time, I cut him off. Run. And we do. Back the way we came. It's harder now, pushing against the thick air, retracing our steps through the maze. The rumbling grows louder, coalescing into the roar of an angry crowd somewhere ahead. Shouting, panic, clamor, corner after corner. back into the hall with the heron statue. And there's Sam. He's got his arm around the little girl, Chloe, huddled together in the center of a swirling chaos. A ring of creatures surrounds them, the mirefolk. Frogs, toads, newts, things that look like giant, walking catfish. Angry, scared, some bigger than us, some smaller. Sam looks up as we burst into the hall, his jaw clenched, face bruised. The air thickens again, bubbles streaming up from the disturbed weed carpet. I see Sam screw his eyes shut, forcing his breathing under control. The girl clings to him. He's unarmed. Scanning the crowd, I see his wrench, held tight in the slimy fist of a big, muscular newt thing, raised like a club. The newt, clearly the leader, turns its bulging yellow eyes towards us. Pupils narrow, then widen. Uncertainty. Intruders, it whispers, the word rippling through the assembled creatures. You think we can't feel it? A huge, fat fish thing, floating impossibly off the ground, splutters, its mouth gulping. The tension. In the water. Murkfin. Disturbed. Your fault. All your fault. Who will he take his anger out on? The newt demands, gesturing with the wrench. I ask you, who? A murmur of fearful agreement spreads. Let us pass, mirefolk, I shout, trying to sound commanding. Let us go. Look, Maya interrupts, stepping forward, dropping her crowbar to the floor with a soft thud. All eyes snap to her. We don't want to fight you. We won't. The tension is suffocating. We aren't so different. She continues, her voice earnest. Please, just let us go. We're sorry we disturbed things, but we had no choice. And Murkfin, he's weak, weaker than he pretends. The creatures shift uneasily. He needs you, Maya presses on. He can't paint his own trophies. He needs your skills. He might be big now, but he needs blood to stay that way. Blood he struggles to get before the portrait's done. If he can't get his meals because the paintings aren't finished, he shrinks. He's bound by his pride. They look at each other, murmuring, confused hope, warring with fear. Foolish girl, the newt scoffs, pushing through the others. If we defy him, hold him back from his prey, he turns on us, drinks us dry. Has he ever? Maya challenges. Is there one single painting of a mirefolk in this entire place? The newt hesitates. I can almost see the rusty gears turning in its amphibian brain. He doesn't need portraits. For us, we, unworthy, don't need painting. But he sounds uncertain. He doesn't know. Please, Maya urges, stepping closer, taking the newt's slimy, wrench-wielding hand in hers. A gutsy move. Just let us go, this one time. The newt stares at their joined hands, then at Maya's face. Doesn't respond, but slowly, reluctantly, as if fighting every instinct, he steps aside. And following his lead, the others shift. Silently, sullenly, they part. A path opens through the crowd. Sam pulls the terrified girl to her feet. The five of us walk quietly through the silent ranks of the mirefolk. Creature after creature watches us pass. We leave them behind. Once we round the next corner, out of sight, we run. Final stretch. Back along the corridors, past the creepy rooms, through the dining hall, through the turtle's hall, past the endless gallery of sad, painted eyes. Is that a faint smell of blood from the portraits now? Didn't notice that before. Or maybe it's just me. Just as exhaustion threatens to buckle my knees, the stairs appear. End of the hall. The great stone steps leading up. Almost there, I gasp. Little further. Hard stone under our feet. Climbing. The rush of bubbles is deafening now, irresistible, blurring vision, choking us. Struggling to breathe, pushing upward, holding onto someone's hand. Maya's? Leo's? Can't tell. Climbing. And then, A sudden gasp of cool, blessedly normal night air. The sinkhole is behind me. I realize I'm soaked to the bone, shivering violently. I stagger out of the water. Hair plastered across my face, water streaming. Trip, stumble, splash back down with a grunt into water that's barely ankle deep. Feel the rough, wet, stony ground beneath my hands. I roll onto my back, push the dripping hair from my eyes, spit out a mouthful of foul pond water, panting, look up, and see them, Maya, Sam, the little girl, Chloe, and Leo, alive, safe, standing there dripping and shivering in the moonlight. I manage a weak grin at Leo. He grins back, exhausted but whole. Maya pulls him into a fierce hug. Sam claps him on the shoulder, relief washing over his bruised face. Jesus Christ, a voice says from the bank. Kevin. One of the guards. They held their ground. They did their best. As I turn towards him, the little girl we saved, Chloe, lets out a choked sob and runs straight from the water, launching herself into Kevin's arms. The other two teenage guards just stare, mouths agape, as Kevin holds his weeping sister tight. Siblings. Obvious now. Chloe, Kevin chokes out, burying his face in her wet hair. Never thought, oh God, Chloe, I'm sorry. Should have come myself. If I knew. Still alive. He breaks down, sobbing, holding her under the cool, silvery light of the moon, which has finally broken through the clouds. Movement catches my eye. Down in the grass near the water's edge, a small frog. Flickerwick. It sits silently, regarding me, its throat pulsing rhythmically. The moonlight glints in its golden eyes. Then, with a soft plop, it hops into the sinkhole and vanishes beneath the surface. It's been almost 2 months. No more kids have vanished. Kevin, the kid who blamed himself for Leo getting snatched, he actually stepped up, organized proper neighborhood watch groups, patrols. Nobody walks alone, became his mantra. And he stuck to it. Leo's doing okay. Keeps saying he owes us, that he can never repay us. We keep telling him he owes us jack squat. He's alive. That's enough. And old Murkfin? No idea. Did the Meyer folk find their courage? Did they stage their little underwater revolution? Who knows? The seeds are planted anyway. Nobody's seen or heard from him since. But the sinkhole? It's still there, out on Willow Creek Bend. Sprawling, silent, waiting, always waiting.